Hi there Aries, thank you for joining me for your weekly forecast for week commencing the 31st of March. As you enter this new week and of course new month, I do feel the backdrop from the new moon in your sign, which occurred at the end of last week, is still going to be very relevant to events this week. A new moon in our own sign is encouraging us to start again or reinvigorate the areas of our life that are really important to us. Or it can mean new beginnings. But this one is particularly in need of refreshment as such because of the role of Uranus, which is very close to the new moon and is very close to the sun pretty well all this week. So you may find yourself especially restless to break away from the constraints that we all have in our lives. For example, we have work, we have responsibilities to relatives and friends, and some of those things can at times seem a little bit onerous. But for you, the key this week is that as the sun is forging that conjunction with Uranus and your restlessness is at its peak, so the two planets, or in the sun's case as a luminary, they're actually clashing in a T-square with also Jupiter and Pluto. Of course, the T-square between Jupiter, Pluto and Uranus has been broadly going on for much of this year. It's a difficult one. When we have Jupiter and Pluto in opposition, we see people do things where they demand that they get their own way, sometimes without awareness to the consequence that their action can have on other people. It can lead to fanaticism. And you may find that your own attitudes can take on a little bit of this flavour, particularly if you feel that anyone is stopping you, start something anew, be a bit more individual, stopping you from being the person you really want to be. It could lead to some furious arguments this week, but it doesn't need to. What this can be is a time of evolution rather than revolution, but you just need to be conscious that Uranus in Aries can see sudden acts without enough awareness of what those the consequences can be. So if you do something rash this week, you may actually do it quickly, but live to repent slowly on the consequences. Now, despite this, Mercury is continuing in a rather more hidden part of your horoscope, but from Tuesday through to the end of the week, it's actually forging a fantastic link to Saturn, suggesting that if you keep chipping away on a financial hope or doing your research behind the scenes, that can see something evolve slowly but surely. It might not get exactly where you want straight away. And also romantically, there is a lovely link between Venus and Mars. It is only on Monday. It's a hangover from last week, but it is giving you permission to perhaps reach out to someone you really like. And one of the lovely things about Uranus conjunct the Sun is it can give us a bit more confidence to push outside our comfort zone and in an entirely positive way. So that if there is somebody you like, but you felt a little unsure about reaching out, this could be the week that you do so, but particularly on Monday. So anything to do with innovation, new starts, new haircuts, new way of dressing and being is very much to the fore, but you have to be aware that there can be some ripples that come your way from people who would prefer that you retained the status quo. Thank you for joining me, good luck, and goodbye for now.